Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is JD Vegs and welcome to my first ever reaction video to newly released heroes in Marvel Super War. Intro. The reason why I had the idea of making a reaction video of a certain hero or the newly released hero was because of this current released hero, which is Squirrel Girl, right? So let's start off with her character design. Okay, so this is Squirrel Girl. So this is how she looks like in the character selection. So in the in-game, you really notice her tail because the tail will be has the size of the character model itself. So the other skin is the classic one. So it's kind of the same in the comics as well. So you will see here her normal skin. I'll show you difference, or not really a difference, but the similarities they have in the comics and what you have in the game, right? So no comment on that. I think it's pretty good, and applause to the details of her tail is that when you look closely, you can actually see some of the fur close up, right? See? So kudos to the tail itself, and also the squirrel as well. They're so cute, especially the one with the ribbon, the pink ribbon. I think that's a girl, and the other one is a male. You could have put a bow tie or a black bow tie, right, to make him like stand out as a male squirrel. So anyway, so that is how Squirrel Girl looks like in her normal skin, and then in her classic skin. Okay. So jumping off with the abilities, Squirrel Girl has a very basic passive skill, Unbeatable, which is it increases her armor and energy resist depending on how many heroes it has. For yes, Brady. Sorry, that's my dog. So if you have more than if you have more than one hero, I'm not quite sure if you hear him. He is barking. Okay, so anyways, let's continue. So the more enemies you have, or more enemies within 600 yards of Squirrel Girl, it increases her passive multiplied by 1, or depending on how many enemies you have. For example, if you have 5 enemies within 600 yards, then 3 multiplied by 5, which is 15. So the max passive that she can get is 15 for the armor, and then 15 for the energy resist. Pretty basic passive skill. For the skill 1, it has a passive and an active one. So the passive one, it creates marks to the enemy if you hit them with an ability. So the max stack would be, it's an acorn mark, so the max would be 3 acorn marks. Okay? So the active one is Squirrel Girl launches a squirrel and do damage to the enemy, also returns HP to her. So depending on how many marks you create or put or stack to the enemy, it multiplies the damage as well. Right? So the more, or if you max the acorn stacks, then it causes more damage and more HP return. So basically that's the skill 1. And also during skill 1, it is you can't activate it if none of your enemies has been stacked by the acorn. So skill 2, Acorn Barrage. Pretty basic skill. Squirrel Girl launches an acorn in a straight line. Slows the enemy. Actually, the acorn passes through several enemies, also the enemy minions, but it doesn't stack acorn to enemy minions, only in enemy heroes. After that, if you hit an enemy hero, your next basic attack would be launch attack, or you launch to the enemy, and then Squirrel Girl gains 40% attack speed for 4 seconds. Right? And then this reduces the cooldown of your third skill by 1 second. I have no problem with skill 1 and skill 2. That's fine with me. What issues do I have on this character specifically is her skill 3 and skill 4, which is her ultimate, right? So let's jump to skill 3. So skill 3, this is her initiating tool, which is she's gonna be dashing through the enemy and then jumping up around them. So you can only jump once to an enemy, and then you need to jump off to another enemy hero or your squirrels. So again, you need to jump to an enemy. You can't jump to an enemy the same or twice in a row because you will lose the jump. A squirrel girl will not jump or activate the jump. So you need to jump to the enemy, or jump after that, jump to another enemy, and then back to the first enemy that you hit. You can't just jump up and down to the same enemy. You need to transfer from enemy to enemy. So I have a problem with this. It's because this skill is not that rewarding compared to other tanks. The reason why is that when Squirrel Girl activates this skill, she will take damage from basic attack and skill abilities. Although she is immune to crowd control skill, she will still take the damage. Although she gains a shield after she jumps, but that shield is not a lot, so you still need to be very careful, because if you're jumping like into a 5-man team, they could burst you down just in a second. So the reason why I'm not really comfortable with this skill is because it's not that rewarding compared Squirrel Girl to the Thing's initiating tool, which is his ultimate, right? So the Thing dashes through and then knocks everybody up. That's already a plus for Thing because it knocks everybody up. For Squirrel Girl, when he jumps, she doesn't do anything to the heroes she lands on. No stun, no slow. She just marks them and damage them. And the damage is not that noticeable in the late game because it's very little, because she is a tank build. You need to build her as a tank. So she needs that armor, she needs that magic resist, so that she can stay longer when jumping up and down to the enemy hero. So once again, I say it's not rewarding. It's because she doesn't do any disable or crowd control to the enemy that she's jumping into. No stun, no slow, no knock up, no nothing. Okay, so she is the tank that does not have any crowd control skill. So that's my biggest concern about her skill for the third skill. And now, her ultimate. Probably one of the worst ultimate in Marvel Super War is her squirrel. Yes, that's right. Squirrel Girl summons a squirrel or squirrels. Okay? So basically, her ultimate is that she summons not really two, but a maximum of 2 squirrels, and that squirrel will fire acorns to random enemies. Probably gonna be main target. If there's a hero there, then they're gonna be targeting the hero. Okay, so the reason why I say that this is one or the weakest ultimate in the game, it's because it doesn't do any damage. I mean, it does do damage, but so little that you can't notice it if you are fighting Squirrel Girl. Okay, and then when you cast or you summon a squirrel, there is a cooldown of 6 seconds before you can cast it again. Okay, so you have a stacks of 2 with this ultimate, so you can't cast both of them simultaneously. You can cast one and then wait for 6 seconds and then cast the other one, right? So it's not like Rocket Raccoon, you can stack 4 mines and then plant all 4 mines. Okay, for Squirrel Girl, you can put a squirrel, wait for 6 seconds, and summon another squirrel, which doesn't make any good damage or damage enough to be noticed by the enemy. That's why I consider this one of the weakest ultimate in Marvel Super War currently. So I have a big concern of her skill 3 and her ultimate. Skill 3, not that rewarding. Why take the risk of jumping in a team that could burst you down without any reward? Right? You just do damage, you stack some acorn, that's it. You don't do stun, you can slow them. You're just there to put some marks of acorn and then go out so that you can launch or to maximize the damage of your skill 1. That's it. So why would I jump to the enemy hero if I don't if I'm a tank? I should be able to stun them. The reason why I need to jump in their head so that I can stun them, but no, she doesn't have any stun. She doesn't even have a slow. She can't slow them when jumping in their head. So it's kind of useless. You're just there to mark them and then go back and then hit them with your skill 1. That's it. And for her ultimate, really, you need to put a cooldown. So when putting the first squirrel, they're probably afraid that it's gonna be like OP. When she's in the tower, you can summon 2 squirrel to fight or to hit the tower. It doesn't make any difference because the damage is very low. Compared your ultimate with Star-Lord, look at Star-Lord's ultimate. It takes a lot of damage and takes a lot, probably just 2 SS or 2 specials of Star-Lord's barrage, and the tower is destroyed. For Squirrel Girl, I'm not quite sure how many squirrel it will take to put down a tower. That's how weak it is. So for the next patch, I hope she gets buff, change her mechanics, her skill 3, and please make her ultimate feel like an ultimate, because it doesn't really feel like it's an ultimate. It feels like it's just a skill, ordinary skill. And then probably the second skill. Sorry, I forgot something. Because in the second skill, if you hit the enemy with the acorn and then do the basic attack, when you do or you finish the basic attack, a squirrel comes up randomly, but it doesn't do anything. It just stands there. It doesn't even fire acorn. The only reason that the squirrel is there, it's because for him or Squirrel Girl to jump on that squirrel and then jump probably to the enemy or back to the enemy. That's it. So pretty sad for the new hero. Not quite sure if anybody there who's really good at using Squirrel Girl, or put a like or a comment down below. Give me some tips. But I tried her several times, tried her to be a support, tried her to be a tank, put some damaging items in her kit. It's still hard to use her. Yeah, so I'm really not sure if this character is a viable character in the game. And if you ask me if she is worth it to buy in this patch, save your coins and purchase a different tank, because she is not really worth it currently, only in this patch, because she's very weak. She's very weak and very hard to use, so nobody wants to use that, because usually when it's a very hard character to use or to play, when you master him, it's gonna be rewarding. But in this case, she's hard to use, but if you master her, I'm not quite sure if it's rewarding or not, or even she is effective in the game. I'm not really sure if she's really that effective in the game. So if you ask me, guys, is she worth buying? No. Save your coins, buy another tank, go for Thing. If you're new to the game, go for Thing. Sorry, can't now. Go for Thing, go for Ronan, go for the characters that has a lot of crowd control. I mentioned Ronan, all of his skills have crowd control. He has slow, he has knock up, he has stun. Go for him, he's a good character. He can do one-on-one with a fighter. He can stand or fight a character which is a fighter class. Go for Hulk. Anybody else, any tank would be better than Squirrel Girl as of this patch. Okay? So we'll see probably in the next update, probably this coming Thursday or next week. She's gonna be, I know she's gonna be buffed because she's really weak. I'm not quite sure if people are even using her, because basically when there's a new hero, players tend to use that hero, but as far as I've been playing the game, nobody is choosing her. That's why I got a chance to play her a bit during match. I did not play her in rank yet, because I'm not comfortable or confident playing her in rank because she's that weak. So probably in the next patch she's gonna be buffed. Please do something about her third skill. Please do something about her ultimate, because that's not an ultimate. Trust me, It does not look like an ultimate. Coming from Squirrel Girl, it's a joke. The ultimate currently, Squirrel Girl's ultimate is a joke. Yes, it is a joke. Squirrel raid, it's not really a raid because you only can summon one squirrel at a time, 2 at the max, but it will not last long for 2 times, or for the 2 squirrel to fight alongside you. Okay, so Marvel or NetEase, please buff up her 3rd skill. I have no problem with her passive, her skill 1, her skill 2. I have no problem. That's fine. Fix her skill 3. Make it more rewarding for her to initiate fights, and do something about her ultimate. Can make it like at least 3 squirrel. I don't care if you increase the damage. I don't know. Just buff her up because she's not really that viable in the game. That's why nobody's using her. So I'm gonna be doing more reaction videos when the hero comes, or the new hero comes. I'll not play them yet, so that it's really like fresh for me in how to understand how his or her skills works. So for this one, I already know how she plays, her skill, how it works. So that's why for the next time I'll do the my first reaction for the newly released heroes. Okay, so thank you guys for supporting me. Like and subscribe if you want this kind of content. There are a lot of people that doesn't or was not able to subscribe yet to the channel. If you want to support me, guys, like and subscribe to the channel so that I could give you more different contents, because I already have Build-A Guide, Hero Spotlight, and then I have this new one which is a reaction video to the newly released videos. Alright, so thank you guys. Thank you so much for the ones that's supporting me. Hope gain a lot more subscribers to you guys, and that's about it. Thank you very much, guys, and stay safe always.